Hi guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. In this video I want to show you an article which I read early on, quite interesting one, and it's in regards to a possible customer thinking of suing Coinbase for Bitcoin Cash. As we all know, Bitcoin Cash was created yesterday, August 1st. We saw the price rising all the way to over $700. Now it has dropped, it actually has dropped significantly, and I'm sure that is what we've thought as well, that some people in the first few hours would make crazy amount of money. And I bet this was the big people, the one who probably decided for Bitcoin Cash to be decided to be created in the first place, because I'm yet to hear anyone being able to sell their Bitcoin Cash at the peak of the price. Most of the exchanges where supposedly they were obviously supporting the Bitcoin Cash, you were not even able to deposit if you had your Bitcoin Cash in a wallet. I tried myself, I wasn't able to send it. The exchanges were crashing all the time, and yeah, I don't think anyone actually from the small people like myself and possibly yourself were able to do anything with your Bitcoin Cash if you even got some. But in this article, this is what it is interesting, that yes, Coinbase did advise their customer in advance that they would not be supporting Bitcoin Cash. But if you've been using Bitcoin Cash in here, where I can see some customer obviously not being happy to transfer, let's say, their Bitcoin somewhere else, because if they've been using Coinbase for quite some time and they're happy with the service and so on, and they have, let's say, a significant amount of Bitcoins, they may not feel safe to transfer to a wallet or another exchange, because at the end of the day, it's money that you will be, obviously, you could be scared to send somewhere else, and if something goes wrong, you could obviously lose them. And what the article talks about is the fact that, so here is the lawsuit brewing. I'll put a link in the description, you can read the whole article yourself. But what they're talking about is, right here, I'll read a little bit from it. Upon the creation of the new chain, the breakaway faction chose to award Bitcoin Cash on 1-for-1 ratio to every owner of Bitcoin. So if person owns 5 Bitcoins, they are entitled to 5 units of Bitcoin Cash. So myself personally, I had 4 Bitcoins, so I got 4 Bitcoin Cashes. The scheme has been complicated, however, by the decision of the world's biggest Bitcoin exchange. So here you can grasp Coinbase is the biggest exchange for for Bitcoin. So therefore, I'm sure they probably have hundreds of thousands of customers. And it was obviously controversial that they decided not to support the Bitcoin Cash. And for practical purposes, this means that millions of people who maintain a wallet on Coinbase did not receive the new cash, and as of now, there is no way for them to do so. Coinbase has clearly stated the company is not taking customers' Bitcoin Cash for themselves. So here, obviously, is where it becomes very interesting that, if you own and you are as big as Coinbase, it is hard to believe that you would not, obviously, by holding those Bitcoins in your wallet, it's hard to, obviously, for some people to believe, and even myself, I still wouldn't possibly believe it, that people did not get, let's say Coinbase, because we're talking about them, they didn't get the same amount of Bitcoin Cash. I mean, I just can't even imagine that they would miss on this opportunity. So further down, but its decision to withhold the new currency has led one prominent legal scholar to suggest the company will be sued. And indeed, that now looks like to transpire. An activist group which claims Coinbase decision is akin to a brokerage withholding new shares from its investors warns it will commence a class action suit after August 15 if the company doesn't release the Bitcoin Cash. So as you can see, guys, some people or a group is giving Coinbase a chance to up to August 15, at least that's what I'm saying here. And if they don't release Bitcoin Cash, obviously, to people who decided to continue holding their Bitcoins in Coinbase, they would sue Bitcoin Cash. And what is very interesting really is if you go to the coin market, right? Let me find where it is. Okay, let me open a new one and I'll show you what is interesting. And again, I'm just reading you, obviously showing you the article, but as you can see here, guys, and this is why it's very interesting that Coinbase is saying oh, we are not supporting Bitcoin Cash, we didn't get any Bitcoin Cash, and other obviously exchanges and so on, and even wallets, and in that matter cloud mining companies and so on. But what is interesting that if you look at the amount of Bitcoin, and if I'm wrong, feel free guys to correct me down below. I'm not saying expert, Bitcoin Cash is so new, so it's hard, but you know, to my eyes and to my understanding is all this, again, as I said, wallets, exchanges like Coinbase, cloud mining companies which are holding millions probably of Bitcoins for customers. They're saying, oh, we didn't support it, we didn't get any. So where did actually went all this Bitcoin Cash? Because as you can see, so far they've been mined 16,484,362, and the same amount of Bitcoin Cash almost exists already. So as you can see there, 16,482,163. So the difference is so little. So obviously someone, you know, if we go by these numbers, then someone is lying. And I'm guessing here is where obviously this loan, you know, people will start suing probably Coinbase, and in that matter, maybe some people start suing wallets, other exchanges, and even maybe some cloud mining companies, because as you can see, guys, the difference is only 2,199 Bitcoin Cash less. So therefore, they've been awarded. So who got them? If Coinbase didn't get this, obviously Bitcoin Cash coins. So who got the coins? It is very strange, and considering the fact that obviously the way it worked is if you have to have Bitcoin, you get awarded a Bitcoin Cash. So they can't just disappear in thin air. If it did, then it becomes also very interesting because someone then took them. But I again very much doubt that the companies like Coinbase, and again I'm not trying to say anything, make up obviously the, you know, your mind or whatever you want to out from the what I'm talking here, and you can share with me your thoughts as well, and we can, you know, exchange some information and so on. But you can clearly see that it does make sense that those companies like Coinbase must have got the Bitcoin Cash, you know, looking at the numbers, you know, only 2,200. So yeah, let's say some people didn't, maybe people who are holding their Bitcoins into their personal wallet which didn't support, but it still it must have gone somewhere. But Coinbase must have held possibly millions of Bitcoins come August 1st, and we can see that they have been created only 2,000 Bitcoin Cash less, so therefore they must have got these Bitcoin Cashes. Further down the article, we can see, meanwhile, an attorney named Priyanka told Fortune she intends to file a complaint invoking negligence, breach of fiduciary duty, and unjust enrichment in Florida by the end of the week. Coinbase, which set out its decision on Bitcoin Cash in July 27, blog post did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So as you can see, guys, things are getting a bit interesting. And I don't blame these people. I really don't blame these people. And again, as I said, I am sure if people start filing those lawsuits against Coinbase, we may see this happening with other exchanges, with other wallets, and again, as I said, with some cloud mining company, because I have seen reports where, and I'm for instance with Genesis Mining, and I have heard that people are saying that Genesis Mining haven't paid any Bitcoin commission for the last 10 days, so therefore they must be holding a lot of Bitcoins of customers which they didn't pay them, and therefore we could see the same thing applying there as well. So that's all I have for you guys. Very interesting article and very good point actually, because it really makes sense. Again, when we look at the numbers, guys, it really makes sense, because we can clearly see that those coins were created, so therefore someone got those coins. Who got them? Well, I guess with time we're gonna find out. Possibly, we may not, but let's stay tuned and see how things develop. That's all I have for you guys. If you did have your coins on a Coinbase or other exchange or other wallets and you didn't get Bitcoin Cash, maybe you can also look into this and see how this particular story obviously develops, and if lawsuits begin, you know, people start doing, you know, obviously suing Coinbase, then maybe you could do the same. And if there are groups who are doing them together, maybe you can get involved with it as well, and you never know, you may get yourself Bitcoin Cash, despite the fact that you didn't get any yesterday. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are enjoying the channel, feel free to subscribe and share my channel. I am very grateful for all the support. It's been incredible, and yeah, stay tuned, a lot more content coming, and yeah, let's see how things develop. See you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.